This is the largest hawker center in Singapore with over 260 food vendors under one roof. I'm gonna show you inside. Let's go. And we're gonna start this walk going up the main escalator to the second floor. This total market has 3 floors, 700 stalls in total. Up here on the third floor is the hawker center with the 260 food stalls. The ground floor, mostly shops for stuff, souvenirs, things like that. And on the basement level is the traditional produce, meat sort of wet market that the locals would get a lot of their food to cook at home, or even these vendors would get their food to cook up here. This complex has been here since the 80s when it was built to house the hawkers from Chinatown. It feels a little bit like a maze to walk through here. There are a lot of different alleys and walkways, and I like every time I come in here, I always feel quite lost when I go through here. But I guess you can just let your nose guide you. Here we have the Super Mummy Cafe with drinks, sugarcane juice, lemon tea, honey lime juice. This particular hawker center is home to one of Singapore's original Michelin-starred stalls, famous for their chicken rice, in particular their roasted chicken rice. Although I guess this year they recently just lost that Michelin star, so sad. There is the hawker center's temple right there in the back. And we'll go ahead and go down this way. We got 1950s coffee here. You can get a cup of coffee for $1.20 Singaporean. That is pretty cheap, I must say. This is probably going to be one of the cheaper hawker centers around, just maybe kind of by virtue of the least amount of tourists that are up here and locals. They got these signs saying no touting. What does that mean? Hawker centers in Singapore, some of them allow the vendors to like walk around and say, hey, you should come and eat at my stall because I've got really good food. That's touting, so no touting here. Here's a map of the place. We started coming up this escalator. We walked down here, over here. Now we're here. We're gonna walk our way back this way and then down over like this. All right, so here's Hainanese chicken rice stall. There are many of them. Every hawker center has quite a few. On the upper levels of this is the parking garage, or the car park, as they would call it here in Singapore, owing to the British English, or the British colonial influence. Let's go over to the edge. It's quite warm in this hawker center. They got some fans to try to cool it down, but because of the low roofs and all of the inner things, it does get pretty hot in here. Classic thing at some of these stalls is to get your beer in a bucket, and you know, then they put ice in there too. You can see this is the bar drinking area of this hawker center. This is where a lot of the locals, you know, come to hang out and meet up with their friends on a weekend. It's Saturday, about 4 p.m. as I'm recording this, so not really prime eating area either way. Oh, this store sells sendal, which is basically shaved ice with some red bean and some other treats. I've not had it from that stall, but that dessert in general is pretty good. Particular place is really hot, and Singapore is a place that is really hot. On the back side, there are some staircases that'll take you into the adjacent buildings, and then some signs that tell you that if you go down to those lower floors, you go to the sundry stalls and the basement market. We'll check out the basement market after we're finished walking around here. They've got tray return, so you can return your trays either from a halal stall or a non-halal stall. All right, and so it's like a few different buildings that are connected together. We've got some Taiwanese cuisine there, but then we go across these different bridges to go over to the other buildings. But you can see a little bit of the sundry stalls that are down there. I'm glad today isn't too hot of a day. It's been like a rainy day, so the temperatures may be 80 Fahrenheit instead of 90. I've been in here when it was a more hot day, like 90, and that's pretty rough. Wow, look at all these bottles right here. That's a lot of drinking. Here we've got the steamed fish head in hot sauce. I know it's a delicacy, but that's one I've yet to acquire. I generally don't like my food to look at me, and I feel that that's what that food does. Central set of restrooms here, but you do have to pay 10 cents to use the restrooms. They are not free in this hawker center. If you need free restrooms, then you can go over to the Maxwell Road Food Center, which is like 2 blocks from here, if you don't have 10 cents. But boy, that seems like a pretty long walk just to save yourself 10 cents. Looks like these two were having some dim sum. They've got all their dim sum containers on their table. I quite like dim sum. But this place is taking a break from 3:30 to 5:30. That's also probably why it's not too busy here. And you're like, Chris, this isn't too busy? Yeah, there's a lot of people here for like 4 p.m., right? I mean, I think so. Okay, let's go ahead and go downstairs so that I can show you the basement market. All right, and there's an escalator to go up and a staircase to go down. So I guess I need to get my exercise. I haven't been walking quite enough today. Okay, yeah, down here, you know, it's bags, purses, just lots of little random items down here. Shirts, umbrellas, stuffed animals, a yellow Pikachu. Hi, Pikachu. Pika Pika. Hello Kitty, red envelopes. And let's go down to the grocery market. And so they got like a sign right up here that they speak like, there's 4 official languages in Singapore, but probably many more spoken. And so it works better in a lot of places just to have some icons as to what's sold than actually the words, since there's so many. But you can see down here we've got produce, we've got fruit, vegetables, we've got the egg stall, which just sells eggs. We've got the florist, which sells flowers. And a lot of these stalls are closing up by now. I've seen a lot of lights getting turned off because, well, these types of places are much more lively in the beginning of the day, while, you know, the restaurants are doing their shopping, or other people are doing their shopping in the morning for dinner a little bit later. But if you come here in the morning, or you just want to see what a traditional Chinese market looks like, then head on down here too. All right, fellow explorers, I think I got you through about 100 stalls, and it was so hot down there in the basement. Can you tell on my face how hot I am? All right, well, that'll give you about 600 stalls to explore on your own here in the Chinatown complex. And as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in some more of my videos. If you want to take my walking tour of Chinatown, check that out right here. If you want to see the other food center that frankly I like better than this one, the Maxwell Road Food Center, then you'll find that on the screen too, or links in the description below. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in one of those videos.